Welcome back to Ketchup with Max and Jose. It's been a while. We're back. It's been
13 months.
13 months since we recorded the last one. We've been busy.
We have been busy. Going everywhere and doing a lot. Plus the channel.
And working on the cookbook. Yeah.
We can talk about that in a bit. But ideally, in a perfect world, I was hoping that I would have done a video right after each cruise that we did, just because everything would have been fresh, especially because these itineraries on AmaWaterways are jam-packed.
Yeah.
These cruises are not for idling around. You're not hanging out by the pool.
I wouldn't even call them cruises, because that, makes you think, relaxing. It's not relaxing. It's so much fun and jam-packed with history and education and food, but relaxing it is not.
Yeah, and I think before scaring people and telling them how busy and chaotic it is, let's talk about the locations.
Yeah.
And honestly, though, I do not regret any of this. I would do all these cruises over and over again.
Yeah.
I had so much fun, but they are not the relaxing kind of cruise. So you would have to gird your loins and prepare in comfy shoes and prepare to be bombarded with all these beautiful places.
Yes.
So initially, last March, we did the Danube River.
We did, but that was just us.
A trial run.
In preparation for the October cruise, which was with 60 tasting history fans, something like that.
Yeah.
And so we started in Germany, in Vilshofen, and then did down the Danube. We went to Salzburg and Linz and Vienna and several other places. One of my favorite places is Melk, where there's this beautiful abbey, absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful abbey.
Their library makes me jealous.
Yeah, so we started in Munich, right? Is that?
We started in Munich, but the ship starts in Vilshofen, which is a little a ways from Munich.
Got it. So Bratislava, and then it finished in Budapest, which we got to explore the first time around late February, last March, which is
cold.
Very cold. A lot colder than I'm used to. I do like it in the 75, 85 range. It was a nice practice run for when we did it again in October.
It was not as cold in October. Not nearly.
We didn't get any snow, which is nice.
We didn't get any snow.
We got it.
Though, when we got to Munich, it wasn't freezing, but it was still chilly. Mm-hmm. And my dad, because my parents came with us, my dad shows up, no jacket. Just absolutely no jacket. And it was on whatever day all of the stores are closed. I can't remember if it's Monday.
It might have been a Sunday.
Sunday. Everything was closed. And so we couldn't even get him a jacket. So a fan of the show saw that we were there and saw that my dad didn't have a jacket and lived near Munich, and they brought him a jacket. And we did the whole cruise with that jacket. And then they happened to be in Budapest at the end of the cruise, because they had places in both cities, and so we gave him back the jacket. It was really awesome. So thank you for that jacket.
Thank you to them for helping his dad out.
It's really cool.
But in general, these cruises are fantastic. I mean, again, no idle time. I was trying to squeeze in gym time here and there. No. Not really doable, because you wake up, you're having breakfast, you're hitting your excursion, then you're usually back for lunch.
And then very often another excursion.
Then you're getting back, you have to refresh. Maybe you get a 30-minute, 1 hour break, and then cocktail hour, which I was always there as cocktail hour. It's I'm making my money back in cocktail hour. And then, the evening dinner. And so just the days are really full and but also very exciting. And sometimes I think I'm not well-traveled, not compared to you, but a lot of times it's just there's so much that I'm seeing, something new places, new languages, things I've never seen, and just in general, interacting with the fans. I'm very much an introvert. Contrary to what other people say, Max has made me become more extroverted. But I sit
You're still an introvert.
My battery level at the end of a lot of days, were between the jet lag and just everything we're doing, a lot of times it's just I just need to be alone for an hour. Because
it's 7 days long, and we were with, all the fans from sun up till sundown and beyond, which I loved. but it can be tiring.
Yeah.
Especially when, my parents were also there, so having to
and you were also sick, actually.
And I was sick at the beginning. I entered with a cold.
Yeah, so, and with the amount of talking that he was doing, it was kind of exhausting for you. And there were days where it's like, are you okay? And he's like,
not going to talk today.
He's going to rest his voice. So, but all in all, amazing trip. So many locales, and I'll obviously put pictures and stuff. But if any questions come up as far as like recommendations for cruise travel and like what it's like, I would definitely answer in the comments. Not an expert, but
and these are river cruises, so they're not ocean cruises. They're much smaller boats. They're like, this one is one of the biggest river cruise ships in the world, and it's 190 people.
Yeah.
The one that we did in Egypt was only like 90 people.
Yeah. And what's nice is over the week, you get to kind of know the boat, where to sit. You start meeting everyone because you're seeing a lot of the same faces over time versus like a bigger ocean liner where you might never see the same person.
No, you get to know pretty much everyone.
And the added fact of the tasting history fans were all fantastic. I think we had a little bit of apprehension. It's like, what if there's someone who's like,
we didn't know who was going to show up.
They could have been, or just like made things awkward, and everyone was fantastic. Everyone's super interesting. Everyone's a lot younger than what the usual river cruise audience is.
Yeah, we brought down the general age,
which is fantastic.
By half.
We had people in their early 20s, like a really young couple, and there's just different dynamics. But everyone's really cool. Everyone's nerdy in their own way, whether it's video games, but it's like a lot of people had degrees, like masters and whatever.
It was
science.
It's my audience.
Researchers, professors, scientists, technicians. Emily was a florist, and just very, very eclectic, very interesting group. And so every conversation was always interesting, just hearing about.
Yeah, it was really cool to get to know everybody.
Honestly, you might have been the least interesting there at that point.
Probably.
I was the least interesting person there.
And what was cool was, finding out like everybody had this one thing in common, which was tasting history. But then by the end of the cruise, they had so many other things in common. Everybody had kind of become friends, which was very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
No, super cool. All in all, highly recommend it. AmaWaterways is who we went with, and they had a focus on the food and the history.
Yeah.
So it made our lives easier already because, a lot of these tours are focusing on the history of these places. It's not a party cruise. Obviously, I tried to make it cocktail hour.
But frankly, you can't get drunk because then you'll ruin the next day.
Yeah, you don't want to be hungover for the next day.
No, a few drinks, and they do just keep pouring the wine.
But. Yeah, and honestly, like, again, because I was so low on battery a lot of times, the thing is, like, you didn't want to skip any of the excursions because every place was new. You would wake up and you would be in a new place.
It's only 7 days, so just like go for 7 days.
Tough it out.
So let's move on to the next cruise.
Okay, no, wait. The Danube River. What was do you have a favorite place or?
I like Milk Abbey.
Milk Abbey? Okay, well mine was Vienna.
Yeah, Vienna.
Vienna's beautiful.
Just the city in general. Yeah.
Beautiful, like just beautiful architecture, lots of history. I think my first thought was like, whoa, like this place is real. It's not like when you're a child, you visit Vegas and you see all these cool things and like, oh wow, this is amazing. Like Vegas is a mockery of what all these other wonderful places are trying to do. And so so Vienna is a place I really enjoy. Plus they have really nice pastries.
Yeah, it is a city filled with pastries. Honestly, I like all the food in Vienna.
Okay. So most recently was our Jordan and Egypt excursion.
Yes. So that was fewer fans. Jordan only had, 20 or so? 25? And then Egypt was that group plus like another 20 or so. So I think it ended up being almost 50. So a little bit smaller, but the boat was smaller. But it made everything much more manageable. And talk about a packed trip.
Yeah.
It was a little bit longer. It was almost 2 weeks. Or it was 2 weeks. And it was just every day. It was surreal seeing these places.
In Jordan, we started in Amman.
Yeah, we started in the capital,
and then we hit we hit Petra.
Oh, but first, so we get to the main city, Amman, and we're exhausted and everything, and we check into
the St. Regis.
The St. Regis, I have never felt like more of a celebrity. They had, I mean, like the whole staff was there to greet us, including the manager of the hotel. They take us up, they upgraded us to like this huge suite that was like bigger than my first apartment.
Yeah.
And then we walk in, and on the table, they have a tasting history book cake. It was a cake in the shape of the tasting history cookbook, plus a gold play button that was made out of chocolate. I mean, this room I had an office and a dining room, but we weren't there long enough to actually use any of it. But it was amazing.
It felt very extravagant. And then friends that we were with, it's like, is that how it's usually like? I'm like, no. Honestly, I think the last time I felt like that was during the book tour. You drew crowds, and that was exciting.
Yeah,
because it was new to us. But yeah, we definitely were treated like, or you were treated like kings, and I just happened to, ride those coattails, which I do not mind. I am not above riding those coattails. But yeah, so the St. Regis Amman was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was, and honestly, beautiful decor and beautiful buffets, like quite the spread. But yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed Jordan, and I think you did.
Jordan. I didn't expect to love Jordan as much. I didn't know what to expect, actually. It was just kind of like, I was looking forward to Egypt, and we were going to tack this on, and like I knew that Petra was there, but that was about it. But we went to go see, was it Jerash, which was an ancient Roman city, and frankly, the ruins there were better than anything that I've seen in and around Rome, because they were still so intact. Everything was, I mean, it was very much like walking through the city, the ancient city. It was very well done, and it wasn't busy, and the weather was really nice. I really enjoyed it there.
Yeah, and generally we lucked out with weather in Jordan,
I think
Cairo.
we only had like one warm day.
Yeah, one warm day, and it was the day we were in the Valley of the Kings. But we'll get to that. But in general, Jordan, we also hit the Dead Sea, which is like the lowest point on the ocean.
Dead Sea.
We both got into the water. It was a little chilly,
It was enough.
Very salty.
It was very oily.
Very salty and oily. I got like mud on me.
Yeah.
And then I quickly had to wash it off because I have very sensitive skin. So yeah, but honestly, I checked that box off.
Did the Dead Sea, don't need to do it again.
The box didn't exist before that day, but I did it. So it's like, all right, done. But we also went to Wadi Rum, which they filmed Dune there.
Dune,
most recent Dune.
Lawrence of Arabia, and the actual Lawrence of Arabia, like that's partly where he did his thing.
Yeah, and just like other Star Wars, just because the scenery of like the desert, beautiful landscapes.
But it's also like red,
very
kind
red,
of.
yeah.
Like the dirt is red, and the landscape is gorgeous. The mountains are beautiful, and we rode through. And they've got these dunes that are absolutely gorgeous, and we're like riding in the back of these trucks going out into the desert.
Very precarious. I think there was like a 12-year-old driving our truck.
Yes. Yes. That was.
Yeah, but I mean, they're going like 15 miles an hour, and there's nothing around.
There's nothing to run into.
But I thought that was so cool. It was very cool. So, and then the Bedouins were like super friendly, and like you had tea with them.
Yeah.
And we bought some of the local garb, and just good time.
Yeah, it was really
enjoyed
cool.
it. And then from there, we also hit Petra, which I had seen pictures.
It's the highlight,
but I was not super attuned to what it was.
And pictures really can't do it justice.
Yeah, and it's a lot bigger than you would think. It's not just the
massive
treasury that you see in a lot of images in Indiana Jones. There was a whole lot after, including lots of kitties. There was lots of cats in Jordan in general, which is great if you're a cat lover.
And so the Petra, I didn't realize just how big it was. Like, they showed us a map that was like this big, and they were like, okay, you're gonna walk in, and it'll take an hour, and then, you'll explore for a few hours, and you're gonna cover this much of Petra, because it keeps going, and there are other caves and other buildings built into the mountain and everything. The most famous part is the treasury, and so that's like all in the very, very beginning. But even so, just walking through the canyon to get there, it's one of the coolest walks I think I've ever done in my life.
I thought it was amazing, and just how clean and like just how pristine it was, and just being able to see
really
history.
Well kept.
But of course, the treasury is kind of like the point. But then there's just so much after that you don't know about, I think.
Yeah.
And so honestly, the one downside of doing a lot of these river cruises is that you're getting a taste of a lot of places, but it's not a whole day excursion. They're like,
you're not there for multiple days.
When
really
we were in Egypt,
it's like
we
boom,
hit
boom, boom, boom,
all
boom.
these tombs and the pyramids and the Sphinx, and it's like that could have just been one thing in one day, and you're just doing a lot in one day.
It's a smorgasbord, and then you want to go back, later and stay in certain places longer. You can, but it's a nice way to get the lay of the land for the first time if you're going to a place.
And I think even before we did this, and when you announced it on your channel, I think there was concerns from people. It's like, is it safe and all that? And
when we went, super safe.
Yeah.
Jordan's the safest country in the Middle East. As they were saying, it's because they don't have anything that anyone wants to take. They don't have any oil. They don't have any major ports. They don't have anything.
Yeah. That being said, given recent events, there's been advisory, and just in general, like it's gonna be hard to travel there for a while.
Yeah.
But I know like Egypt is the travel advisory is a level 2, which is actually in line with what it is for like, I don't know, like London and like Paris and stuff. So
really,
yeah. So, but the thing is like just flights in general have been challenging. So hopefully things get sorted out soon. But we didn't have any issues. I think if you're a tourist in a group, by law, that tour group is going to have a guard with you, and I never felt unsafe.
And I do suggest, like, especially for both places, it's not a place that you just go as a lone tourist and check it out.
Yeah, if you're not an experienced traveler, definitely suggest.
I think it's going with a group, whether it's AmaWaterways or another group, kind of having things planned out. Also, not just for safety and frankly ease of travel, but also because we had like an Egyptologist with us in Egypt the entire time, and there would have been so many things that I would have seen if I had been alone, that I would have seen and been like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, but I would have had the context of what it was, because even books don't really explain some of what certain images on walls are trying to depict, and kind of the backstory behind these things, especially because like the mythology of Egypt is really, really confusing.
A lot of history there.
There's a lot of history. I mean, because it went for so many thousands of years, they would be like, oh, that's Horus because he has a falcon head. Oh, there he is again with the falcon head. Oh, no, that's not Horus. That's actually the king dressed up as Horus, but actually it's a different god who is pretending to be the king who was dressed up as Horus. It gets very, very confusing. And so it's really nice to have an Egyptologist there to kind of explain everything.
Or downside, I think it's been mentioned in a lot of travel blogs when we're like, oh, when you're exploring Egypt, by the way, the merchants are pushy.
The merchants are pushy.
But I think it's more of a know how to navigate your way around them. If you're not interested, don't make eye contact, don't engage. Just move on. Just do your thing. Know what you're looking for.
Yeah, because they're all friendly. Nobody's mean.
Yeah, no one's
like
rude.
that.
But it's like, and the thing is, like, they're all kind of peddling a lot of the same things.
It's all the same kind of stuff. It's cool stuff. I bought a lot of it.
Yeah, and so just like knowing how to navigate, you just have to haggle. Me, I'm not good at haggling. Like, I'll take you at face value. You're much better at it. Again, so to Max's point, the Egyptologist, hi Walla, he will tell us, hey, nothing is worth more than $5 American here, So one of my
and they'd be like 50. It's like no.
How about 20?
And they'd be like, it's solid copper, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's this is clearly not. So you just have to having somebody, whether it's a guide of some sort, be able to kind of like tell you what to expect before walking into the place is really helpful. Or like there were places where he wasn't allowed to go with us for certain reasons, into certain tombs and whatever, and he'd be like, there will be a guy who says, hey, I can take your picture, or hey, I can take you into this area that you're not usually allowed to go to. He says, don't follow them, don't give anyone your camera. It's not that they're going to steal the camera, it's that they will demand money for taking that picture, but only after you. I mean, frankly, it's the same kind of stuff that happens when you go to like Times Square or Hollywood Boulevard. Wherever there are tourists, this is just how it is. So it's nice to have somebody kind of warn you.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, this country, tourism is like the number one thing. And so
that's,
tipping and just...
Yeah, it's a big tipping culture, even more so than in America.
Yeah.
And they want American money, so bring a stack of ones. Because the thing is, you could tip literally everyone that asks you to tip, and by the end of the trip, you will have spent $40 because it's not very much money. It's more of just the volume that is kind of like,
the conversion caught me off guard, because it's like, all right, let me pull some money. I'm pulling 4,000 Egyptian pounds, and I have like a fat stack of what I call Monopoly money.
Yeah.
It's how much? It's like, whatever, $60 or whatever it is.
Yeah, because they only have bills, I think, up to 200 pounds. But 200 pounds is like $4 or something like that. Yeah. So, I don't know.
So that's a little like challenging, and I felt rich, but I was like, all right, that real fast.
Frankly, just bring American money, because that's what they want. And so you don't even need to do the conversion. And they'll give you the prices in American dollars. Anyway, so.
Well, I feel like I don't want to drag this episode and just make it about cruise excursions. And I think we can probably just do a part 2, mainly focusing on Egypt, on the rest of the locations that we hit. Because Abu Simbel, which is one of the places I did a report on back in elementary school, was amazing. And but in general, visiting the tombs and all the ancient landmarks was great.
Seeing the pictures and like watching documentaries and reading books, it's amazing, and I love doing it, obviously, but actually going there is a totally different experience. More so than any place I've ever been, I think. Like, actually seeing these places in real life was...
Definitely.
I will use the phrase, life-changing.
I don't like to use it, but I
used it.
A lot of people did, and it's like, it is amazing. It's astounding. But anyway, I don't want to make it all about the travel that we've done. I want to talk about you. Right.
Okay.
So, a tasting history. We're at 4.2 million subscribers. Max, to this date, 6 years in, has not missed a Tuesday episode. Yay.
Not yet.
I know people have asked about drinking history. We slowed down because of the book that he's working on.
And travel.
So what's going on with the second book?
So the second book is almost done. All of the recipes are written. The last ones are being tested, and then they'll be done. All of the photography is finished. So in January, the first week of January, we did a week of food photography. It's one of my favorite parts of the whole process, that and the book tour. And the photos look fantastic. Maybe we can flash a couple up here, but most of them we'll save, obviously. And so now I'm just working on the histories of each disaster and for each recipe, and
remind the viewers who don't know, what is the name of the second book?
So the second book is a recipe for disaster. So it's all foods that have to do with different calamities, catastrophes, and conflicts. So different wars and conflicts, as in like the Reformation and things like that, throughout history. So I'm working on those histories, and it's been hard because trying to figure out exactly how I want to write it, like the style, the tone of it all. I've been going back and forth, but I finally locked in, and I'm about, I'd say 2/3 done with them. So they should all be done by my birthday, which is March 30th.
You don't have to send gifts. A comment or a like or subscribe is plenty.
Yes. Though if you send gifts, send Lego. I'm kidding.
Stop it.
Kidding. Don't send
Do not send Lego.
Mainly because I already have it all.
Out of room. He orders everything. I ordered him is it the Monet or Manet? Monet, the bridge, flowers, pretty picture. And he had already ordered it for himself. And it's like, great, now I have to get you a different birthday gift. And now I got to go to the store and return it and get my money back.
Sorry.
But yeah,
I like Lego.
A lot of great Legos are out there. Also, Pokemon Day. Happy 30th Pokemon. Happy belated Pokemon Day to those who celebrate. Definitely got the Pokemon Lego. It was very expensive.
That's the thing with Lego. It is just so expensive.
But it's like, in my head, I'm like, how can I rationalize this? Because it's more than what I paid for PlayStation 5, which I'll definitely play a lot more. Anyway, I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. Or I better have a lot of fun with it. But yeah, no, lots of great Pokemon Lego sets. So I did not get the Pikachu because I recognize the Lego Pikachu is ugly.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not great. But
the Eevee is good.
The Eevee is fantastic. But I got the Mega Bloks one, so I'll start building that over the next few months.
Also, a Lego update, very sad. I built the Lego Eiffel Tower a couple years ago. And Milo, sweet, dear, I love him forever, Milo, our cat, one of our cats, jumped into the Eiffel Tower. And it's huge. It's like 5 feet tall or something like that. Jumped into it. And he was fine, and then he jumped out of it, and he's much bigger than he thinks he is, and the whole thing just came tumbling down and crashed all over the ground.
And I saw it happening in slow motion. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, we were both here watching it happen.
Well, he did it when he was smaller, so learning lesson. I want to
He did this last month.
Yeah, I want to rebuild the Eiffel Tower since you have all the pieces.
We hope.
But you mentioned that it's not a fun build.
It's not repetitive. A fun build. It's kind of repetitive. Yeah. It's all one color. It's all gray.
Yeah, it's very impressive to see build. When it's done. But I've seen reviews saying that it's like, yeah, it's cool looking, but it's very boring.
It's the same way I felt about the Colosseum.
Yes.
It's like, oh, it looks so cool. But it's like, do this step 36 times. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Sometimes that's the problem with the architecture line in general, because buildings tend to be kind of repetitive.
Makes sense.
But I love them because they look so good, but sometimes they can be repetitive.
I don't build anywhere near as many Legos as Max does, but I really did enjoy the Lego Game Boy. And it's not very expensive. I think
that's a really good
50 or $60. Yeah. It looks amazing. Speaking of Game Boy, I also bought that Pokemon jukebox where you can play all the Pokemon.
We should be sponsored by Lego or Pokemon.
Talk to your agent. Talk to your agent. Talk to your agent. They sent you Pokemon Kitchen Soap that one time.
That one time.
And never again.
We are going to go to Pokemon Museum Day?
The Field Museum is doing a Pokemon fossil exhibit, kind of like how they had in the original Pokemon Red and Blue
it's in Chicago.
Museum. So we're going to go August.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be humid.
It's going to be hot and humid.
The thing is, I tickets weren't on sale. I was online for like 24 hours. And there was like 10,000 people ahead of me.
And when your time comes, you have 10 minutes and then you're done. And so by the time it got to you...
I was asleep.
It was like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. So I was asleep. So I had gotten on much later and I was like, well, I'll never get it. Well, it just happened that my time came up like right after we woke up. So I was able to...
It worked out.
To get them.
We're going to see the fossil exhibit and I'm excited. And it's probably not a big exhibit, but dang it. I'm going to do it.
We're going to do it.
We're going to do it.
Chicago for it.
Yeah. So, honestly, there's still so much more to talk about. So, we're going to talk about Egypt later. I still want to talk more about the book and, like, why and when and how, but I think there's still more time. As you get closer. As far as, like, because I know people are like, why isn't it just a volume 2? It's like, well, it wouldn't have happened because that's not exciting for Max.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that, he still has all the Tuesday episodes. But with the book winding down...
More episodes.
Drinking History can come back on Fridays. And then...
Though I might not end up calling it Drinking History anymore because sometimes people get confused. And they're like, they don't understand that it's really just tasting history.
Yeah. And you're also... You have not been 100% consistent.
I haven't been consistent.
When it's been a drink episode on a Tuesday.
Because it's on a Tuesday. So I might just have it be tasting history all the time. And when it's a drink, it's a drink. That's okay. I don't know.
I like that intro, though.
Yeah, I do, too.
Is it time to update your intro?
It's a pain in the butt. No.
Fine. Okay. Well, anyway. So more to come. The book tour is going to happen sometime next year.
Yeah, it'll start next May. Should.
Hopefully a lot more locations.
But that's a year. May 2027.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to publish a book.
Not this way. Yeah. So Max finishing his portion, hand it off. It's got to get published. Print copies.
But we will be announcing before then another cruise.
Yes.
Or maybe 2.
Hopefully 2.
So it looks like we're going to do a cruise down the Mekong in Vietnam and into Cambodia, and then probably a little excursion into Thailand, probably in November 2027. So you can sign up for that. Details coming soon. And then
don't sign up now. There's nothing,
there's nothing to sign up for yet. And then hopefully one in Colombia in South America. And hopefully that one's actually sooner, but I don't know.
Yes, the goal is for it to happen before the book tour.
Yeah,
like
next January
shorter,
or February.
Not.
Yeah, it's just a week, thing, I think.
Just because the book tour is coming up fast. And
easier to get to Colombia also from the United States than it is to Vietnam.
And I'm excited because I haven't been to South America. So a lot of places in South America, and most places speak Spanish. So I'm going to be like, I got this.
Colombia, definitely. I'm always, it's just like North America, but I'm always like, oh, I can't picture in my head how far things are in South America. It's like Colombia, and I was like, oh, well, maybe we could just hop down to see Machu Picchu. There's no hopping. They're actually really far away from each other.
Yeah, there's no hopping, because even, oh my God, Egypt was 9 flights in total.
9 flights.
Yeah, because to go to Abu Simbel, that was 2 flights in one day.
Yeah, back and forth.
We left early. Egypt Air got us from Luxor.
We left the ship at like 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
We went to the airport from Luxor. We flew... no, we weren't in Luxor. It was Aswan. And then we flew to Abu Simbel. And then we saw Abu Simbel, then flew back to Aswan and back on the boat. We were there by noon.
Yeah,
we were back on the boat by lunch.
Yeah, we were early.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, but it's great. So credits to AmaWaterways and whoever plans itineraries, because we got everywhere we needed to on time. But anyway, so cruises, more to come. We'll figure that out. We're doing a family cruise with your family, and
all 12 of us
to Alaska.
To Alaska in July. I'm excited. He's excited too. It's going to be great.
I'm excited. Yes.
It's going to be a family cruise though. No fans.
Yeah. But you might find fans. You find fans here and there.
We do find fans here.
We found a fan in the garden center.
We did find a fan in the garden center. I feel like whenever I actually run into anyone who recognizes me, though, when I'm here, I'm always wearing like gym clothes. So
because especially like the garden center.
Because it's the only time I'm out of the house.
Gym, coffee, garden center to get me plants, and then go home and wear gym clothes. That is what it is. But speaking of garden, I let my fans down, our fans down. Maybe I have my own fans. People have been asking about the garden update because we posted it about 2 years ago, I think. And then I meant to do one last year with all the roses. But we had our first flush, looked beautiful. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to wait for the second flush. But then summer hit and it was just, everything looked toasty. It wasn't dead, but things looked rough. And I was like,
singed.
I should have just done it in spring when things were really popping. So I've gotten a lot of plants since. I've planted a lot. It's super nice. I went crazy with plumeria last year. And then in the last half month, leucospermum, aka pincushion plants. They have a lot of these in Galaxy's Edge. They look really cool and alien. Very
Galaxy's
colorful.
Edge at Disneyland.
Yes, Galaxy's
Star
Edge.
Wars.
Star Wars Land. So they look really cool. And then so I've been researching and learning about them, how to take care of them. So I planted several of them, along with too many fruit trees in a very close space. I'm calling it survival of the fittest. May the odds be in their favor between me and the hot summer of SoCal. But yeah, so I will post a garden update over the next 2 months once it's actually spring. And the roses are waking up and they're looking great, so I'm excited. But I'll definitely put some footage of what I've been cooking in the last half year at the end of the video. But yeah, so we've been talking a long time now.
We have.
We are going to post another video very, very soon. More about Egypt and just everything else.
We have a Q&A too.
I collected questions
like a year ago.
Less than a year ago. But I collected questions and we were supposed to do a Q&A. So I still have those saved on my desktop. And we will address all of those. But just in general, thank you for keeping up. I know the channel's not dead. People have comments. It's like, is the channel dead? Like they haven't posted. I posted some shorts to kind of just keep me connected over the last few months. But I appreciate you supporting Max, and the channel
Tasting history is definitely not dead.
It's not dead, but
every week.
That being said,
clockwork, baby.
December, January was a little slow, so your views every Tuesday morning.
Yeah, they go up and down.
Yeah, it's cyclical, so we try not to focus too much on the numbers.
Far from dead.
Far from dead. Yeah, we're not dead yet.
So we're not dead yet.
Yeah. But
Spamalot.
Anything else?
Nope.
There's plenty more to talk about.
Throw in some pictures of the cats.
Yeah, go grab the cat.
No, they don't want to. I don't want to carry them. Just take some pictures and put them on screen.
All right. Well, we will see you next time
on Ketchup with Max and Jose
and Tasting History.
Bye.
So this is the garden. It's early March and spring's about 2 weeks away. Things are starting to wake up. Here are the plumeria. I've been importing them from a online store in Maui called Maui Plumeria Gardens. So just waiting for them to wake up. I think I have about 50 different varieties. Most of them are just cuttings, but they're leafing out. This over here is an Overdue though. It's a green-eyed lady. Nice little pot that Max bought me. And then over here is just a little bit of everything. When we first moved in, it was just a sandbank, but I've been slowly replacing it with real good soil and random plants and seeds. So this is an Overdue. We get a hummingbird here often. Some freesia over there. And Max got me this really cute sign from a Christmas gift, among other things. But yeah, things are looking good here in the sandbank. Over here on the right is a little mason bee nest. I have 2 here. I think they should be waking up soon. They are better pollinators than a regular honeybee because they work through bad weather and even into the evening. And over here, when we first were looking at the house, this is pink jasmine. It smells amazing. It blooms early February and then dies away and then it's done for the year. But other flowers will pick up, kind of replace it. You have bougainvillea and some hibiscus over there. Don't really use the pool too much. It's still kind of cold and it takes a lot of energy to heat it up. But this year, or last year, I put up some little string lights just to really add some color. So it looks really nice at night. Over here, I have a passion fruit. I think one of the more common varieties. I planted it about 3 months ago, I think. It's starting to grow fast now. Just waiting for sunny days. Another smaller variety of passion fruit, but I think this one's just more for flowers. It's tiny. On the left is what I call hibiscus alley, because I planted a bunch of hibiscus and now it's crowded. But there's also Bedouin and bougainvillea, and the hummingbirds eat from there too. On the right is a lemon tree. Has a lot of seeds, but you know what? It looks great, and the flowers smell great while it's blooming. And there are the remainder of the plumeria. And then recently I planted some more hibiscus. I like some of the unique varieties. And so here you have a 5-in-1 peach tree. So it's a peach tree that's been grafted onto a good rootstock. So you have different varieties. Let's take a look. Double Delight Nectarine, Saturn Peach, what else? Fantasia Nectarine. So yeah, I guess it's a mix of different stone fruits. Behind it is a loquat. I realize that they are very close together. I'm calling it survival of the fittest. You know, if it takes off, it takes off. Over here is another nectarine tree, I think. Nectarine Double Delight. You got some pretty blooms already, so it's exciting. Sorry to my friends back in the East Coast. I know it's been cold. But spring is coming. Hang in there. More plumeria, more Bedouin in the back with a few plumeria put in the ground. Over here is one of my favorite ones. It's survived so far. I planted it late last year. This one is an apricot, a nectarine, a peach, and a plum, and one more, and a different kind of peach, all in one. So it didn't die. You know, that first year a lot of things died on me. And then on the left is a tangerine tree. It's starting to flower, starts to develop fruits, and they ripen in the cold by the end of the year, and I can take it to work. random calla lily. I just learned they're invasive. This is a 3-in-1 citrus fruit tree. Actually, it's 4-in-1. It's been slow to develop. Might not be getting enough sunlight. Over here are 2 cherry trees. So they're starting to leaf out now. You see some flowers there. And it cross-pollinates with the other tree on the left. So it's a mini royal cherry tree and a royal lee cherry tree. You see some blooms at this big top. And I planted these about 2 years ago, and they've developed from nice ugly little sticks to a impressive sized tree that I'm going to try and keep short because I'm not tall and I don't have to harvest it. Anyways, there's plenty more to show. I think I can devote a whole video to this in the future, but I just thought I'd get started here with some plants. Just get a good look at it now before everything takes off over the next year. I definitely planted too many trees here. If you watch my last gardening video, there used to be a giant tree trunk there that eventually rotted and fell down, and I had to get rid of it. It got chopped up, dug up, and now it's mulch and it's feeding this pretty magnolia tree that I planted 2 months ago. And the last one I'll show for now is this very pretty peppermint peach tree. It produces these kinds of unique blooms. They're very pretty. Yeah, it produces fruit sometimes, but apparently they're not edible. But they're very pretty, so can't wait for this to get a good size. And again, I recognize that I planted too many trees close together. Again, survival of the fittest. And excited to show you more of my garden next time. Don't look over there, it's still kind of dirty, but there's more stuff going on. Oh, okay, last thing I'll show. This one is one of my new favorite plants. It's called a pincushion or leucospermum. It's very alien and unique, and I guess they're native to South Africa. I first learned about them from Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars Land, and Disneyland. They're really pretty. And I've bought every variety I've been finding online. The thing is, they're pretty expensive. And my first 3 died, so I had to do better research, and I've learned. And yeah, they're growing out, and I have some more in the front yard, and I'll show when I show my roses next in the garden update dedicated video that will hopefully come this year. No promises, but maybe a little promise. Thanks for watching.